Leitchfield Utilities Commission meeting for October the 3rd, 2024. You have a copy of the minutes from September 19th, 2024 in front of you.
I'll make a motion, we approve them as presented.
Kevin Ferris made the motion. Pudgy Alley has seconded that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Passed unanimous. Also, you have a copy of the ratification of the bill list. Is there any questions on it, or if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve that as presented. Motion made by Mayor Miller,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Ferris. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Hey, aye.
Pass unanimous. We're down to visitors. We have Mr. Jim Milner, the department head update on the water plant. We appreciate you coming. And
Thank you for having me.
yes, and we've got a awful nice water plant, and we're very proud of it, and we think you're all doing a really good job. But yeah, if you care to just step up to the front. And
Don't
Is that
need
mic on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't need to say my name again.
tell us a little bit about what's going on.
The new water plant's running great with the flexibility that new one has with the added capacity. I mean, we're sitting better than we have for years. Right now, we're currently running at about 55% capacity, so plenty of room for growth. Still learning some stuff here and there with it, but it's good learning curves, you know, just trying to learn to optimize everything, the vessels, the UV, all the new treatment processes, but the plant itself is hands down an awesome facility.
Yes, it is.
Should serve the city well for many years. I mean, it's other than just some asset management through the years, you know, it's an awesome facility.
Do y'all use the old intake any?
We do. Actually,
Still
just
rotate it.
exercised it. Just came off of it about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Try to use it at least twice a year for about 2 weeks to a month, you know, depending on
Right.
weather and all that, just to exercise it. But it's still, for a backup intake, it's still, you know,
Yeah.
very good to have.
Good.
Yeah.
How many guys have you got working out there now? Which you don't have all guys, I'm sorry. How many employees?
No,
you
I
have?
do.
Employees.
Are they all?
9 counting, and that's counting 2 part-times. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't see a need in the future to add any more than that. You know, I don't hold me to that, but there is a little bit more workload with this one than the old one as far as the new reporting and everything for stuff, but overall, I think we're pretty good on that.
Jim, you want to tell them about the mixer you told me about?
Yeah, if y'all want to talk
Yeah,
about them. I know
yeah.
y'all been talking about them.
Yes, we have.
I don't know if any of y'all have seen them. My brothers are all of them. We kind of been talking with Jason, I'm just spitballing, and he said too, he's more than happy to come to a meeting one time if y'all want to ask him more questions on it, just kind of fill them out. But they're a pretty simple mechanical mixer. They pretty much just plumb into our high service line feeding the tower, and they go up roughly about 60% of the height. They got a formula where they figure that, but roughly about 60% of the height of the tower, and they got a duckbill valve on them, meaning no water can come down it, but it can push out of it. So the head pressure on that pipe is just going to kind of push water into that tower and just kind of keep it mixed, basically. Like I was telling him before, what we have on the towers is like a fill and draw mode, and they kind of all do that from the bottom section. So when we're running and operating and just letting the towers drop and everything, basically the top, say 10 to 12 foot sometimes don't ever get turned over unless we push it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Out the-
tried something this week. I think it's going to work pretty good. It doesn't eliminate the whole problem, but we've been isolating the tower at a time, just letting demand pull it down, and that way we ain't really wasting any. I did have to flush a little out of one hydrant, but not much. That seemed to work really good, and we recovered pretty good, but a mixer would definitely help too. And the rough price we got on them really didn't scare me for what I think they would do. You know, it's just maintaining water quality is all they're really doing. It's kind of the same principle you get on dead-end line on a distribution system. If that water don't move that much or that fast, it just in the industry it's referred to as dead water, but it's basically just stagnant water. The chlorine residual can die off some, might get some tasting over complaints. I mean, it's nothing harmful, but it's the water quality can, you know.
So basically, it's just gonna keep it all mixed
Yeah, it kind of
together.
keeps where everything's just more, it's just a
Circulating.
consistent quality of water instead
Yeah.
of having a big section in there that's just short circuiting and just basically sitting in there. You know, it's, you know, they really are pretty simple, and I'll give you the. We've got additional copies if you want to check them out. And like I said, he said he would come anytime if y'all wanted to fill them out more, or
Yeah.
if you got more questions. I'm learning a lot about them, but I don't know a whole lot about them either, so.
Yeah,
There's a
Yeah.
lot of different, or was a lot of different
Yeah.
theories on them, but I think having something that doesn't require, if it's
I agree.
some
You
other
ain't got no
energy
electrical to
source.
worry about,
yes.
yeah.
I like that idea better because
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I think it's safer, I
It's just
think it's less.
basically, it's using the same water that would be going in the tower anyway.
Yes.
And it's just kind of keeping some coming in the bottom and then just mixing the top.
Yeah.
It's a simple design, but it seems,
It's
you know.
effective.
Yeah, effective.
seems like simple is good.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
But other than that, from, you know, if I had to guess on like a 5-year plan of a water plant wish list, which I don't know if that's more considered distribution or water plant, but that would be my pick on, you know, if we had to pick a 5-year plan as something to do that I think would help mainly from a water quality standpoint. Would definitely save water too, because at some point, you know, I either got to get the dead water out or, you know, do something, but that would really help that. So it would save money from not having to flush so much.
What did he ballpark those out? It was about 30
Roughly
grand?
30.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you need it in every tower or just the School Street and Lilac Road or?
I think, I mean, obviously it would help in every tower, but Lilac and Sunbeam, we can turn over pretty good and pretty easy. So
Start
me
with School
personally, I would
Street?
probably start at School Street because
Yeah.
that one's the hardest one to turn over. Just like I was saying this week, we've pretty much turned over Sunbeam and Lilac pretty good. But School Street, the lowest I could get it without keeping the other two at a safe level was 12 foot. So you still got that range in there. And I would guess some of that mixes good with the fresh water coming into it too.
Right.
But you
What
know,
about-
basically School Street's just the hardest one to turn over.
We do that when we paint those towers or? would you-
I think if we put in the paint next year, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Do it along with that.
While
Yeah.
it's down,
Yeah.
while it's
Yeah.
out of service?
That'd probably be the easiest thing to do. And like I said, if y'all want to discuss it and shoot a date one time, if y'all want him to come talk, just get with Dwight and you can let me know. And I actually talked to him again this week, so he said anytime if y'all want some more information, he's more than happy to share it. He's got several years of knowledge.
Yeah, he recommended that we bid out all three, even if we did one each fiscal year,
Yeah.
that we bid them all at the same time.
Get a better price and them hold the
Yeah.
price
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah.
And said they would hold the price typically.
Yeah.
And he guesstimated about 300,000 per tank.
Which it's been, I think when they were painted,
It's 30,000, Dwight.
I think it was 2002
30 per
when they were painted, 01, 02.
Why?
30,000 per tank.
On the
Well, he's talking
mixer,
about-
but the
yeah.
painting was about 300.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
called
on
it
the,
mixer.
yeah, the
Per
painting.
tower. Per
yeah,
tower.
That was his guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he said anywhere from 250 to 3.
You talking about the painting?
Yeah.
We'd paint one each fiscal year though, right?
Yeah, we could plan on that. We could budget for that.
Yeah.
And the paint on there has done
Yeah,
really well.
I mean, it's over 20 years old. Like I said, it was either done in 2000 or 2001 or 2, one of those. I looked at it not too long ago, but
Yeah.
it's, you might as well say close to 25 years.
I'm pretty sure when we done that though, we paid I think the paint is the better, we
Little bit better.
chose a better paint because
Yeah.
of the
I'm not sure
lifetime.
that paint's still available.
Probably not.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
But they did discuss that, and I think when they, if I remember correctly, when they bid those, they gave us an option, and
Yeah,
the amount of time that it
Seemed
was
like I
gonna
remember
gain us, we
Darren
were
saying
able
that,
to,
too.
we chose to.
Yeah.
So I
Use
guess it's
better
paid
thing.
off.
Yeah.
To be, we chose to spend that little bit of
Right.
money. I mean, the labor's the same.
yeah, exactly.
It's
So if you can
in
get
prep
more years
work,
out
it's
of
just the
paint.
cost of
Yeah.
the paint.
Yeah,
Well, sandblasting, it used to, you know, you automatically would sandblast, but he recommended not sandblasting.
Yeah, he's
He's
got
have
some-
paint now that
We'll
will
seal
go right
that.
over it and it'd be as
Yeah.
durable as, I mean, he had some samples that
Yeah.
were pretty incredible.
and there's a couple pretty close that he's done pretty recent we could go look at. I think he said Ohio County, White Mill, or Hardin County #2. I don't know which one, but he's done one of them within the last year or two. But he seemed to really be a big fan of that's
Yeah.
whatever seal coat stuff he puts on there, and it's really flexible. And he said there's towers that he put that on there, and they kind of just liked the color and just didn't even paint it. And it's getting approaching 20 or 20 so years, and he said it still looks pretty good. So I ain't saying to do that, but that just shows, you know,
Right.
it's pretty durable.
That's good.
How long does it take to, I know that when we were out there in Outer Water that night, I knew how many gallons we were pumping to town, but I forgot.
Mhm.
How long does it take to
Recover from that.
recover?
It all depends.
I mean, I know we have water fairly quick as soon as we get line
Yeah,
packed, but
I think in that instance, I could go back and look and tell you to the minute, but I think that one took about 3 days to fully recover. But that varies some depending on if the county's pulling some or what demand we might be having. Now we got that wax meter, I call it the wax meter, it goes to Edmondson, so you got that one. But like this week, I was really impressed on how quick the towers recovered from dropping them so low. I mean,
but
we
you
were-
didn't lose all your line pack.
Yeah.
You just
And that
lost
helps a
tower,
bit.
you
Right.
lost storage.
Doing is isolating one, and that way, when we take back off, essentially one tower's still full, or all but full, so it takes the load off. In that case, all three of them were pretty much, you know, we was
With that,
starting
and like I say, lines
Yeah.
too, and
yeah, which that was just a perfect storm of bad events, is all that was. Hope I never see that again, but,
It was a good learning curve, though.
yeah.
We're all
Mm-hmm. Yep.
better.
But yeah, I really don't have any negative comments on the plant. It was engineered good, in my opinion. Designed good, it's running good.
the simplicity of the plant is,
Yes, yeah. You know, we've got state-of-the-art equipment, and at the same time, we can still pretty much run everything manually if need be. So, and that was one of the things we requested. So, I mean, you know, we can run just simple old school pushing buttons, starting motors, or bells and whistles of all the SCADA and all that too. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome. You know,
well, I appreciate all the guys and gals, the crew that's out there, and yourself, Jim, and I appreciate you all being open to us if we call and ask questions.
Yeah,
and,
anytime, you know,
uh,
we appreciate y'all too. I mean, y'all honestly do a good job, being pretty proactive on stuff. I know it's pretty hard dealing with several different departments and, you know, budgeting and all that, but y'all do a good job on it, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you coming today.
Yep.
And has anybody else got any questions or anything?
If you can ever think of any, like I said, just phone call away, so. I did make a little cheat sheet of a presentation in case I forgot little bullet points, so. Since Bob ain't here, y'all can.
Okay.
give it to him if y'all need it for anything, it's basically just a rundown of what the capacity's at.
Jim, you want this back?
Yeah, unless y'all want it.
Yeah, you have that. I've got one in the office.
Thank you again for coming.
No problem.
And,
Thank you all.
Yep.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you all.
okay, I guess next on the agenda, an engineering agreement with the Kentucky Engineering Group.
That's not finished. It'll be closer to December the 1st, he said, before he gets everything put together.
So we'll deal with that the next meeting.
I doubt it. I doubt seriously that it'll be ready then. I told him we had to have it, and I told him we had to have, he's already gone over my comments.
Okay.
But he's got a lot of stuff he's got to fill in with regard to figures and things of this nature that they've got to develop. So that's what he told me. And so I asked him when the drop dead date was, and he said he had to have it in by December the 1st.
Okay.
I said, well, just so you get it in for our meeting prior to that, so we can get it taken care of. So he understands where we are.
Okay.
While we're on engineering agreement, though, I did put a different engineering agreement in your packet. And that's the standard agreement that Matt sent from Kentucky Engineering, and that's to do the engineering work on our gas line replacement. And it's $48,000 is the fee, and he'll do the engineering on the gas line replacement on Wallace and Floyd. And if y'all will give me the authority to sign and execute that, we'll get that going.
You got anything?
No, it's a simple agreement. I looked at it, and that's a real simple agreement that just lays it out. And they're being paid not by the hour or anything of this nature. It's a lump sum figure.
Dwight, was that in the budget? Because I know that's going to be a question Sabrina is going to, if it's not, she's going to want you all, if you agree to this, to agree to amend the budget.
It'll come out of our grant funds for the,
That's grant money.
But we still have to have it expensed.
Yeah.
I'm sure she put it in the budget.
Okay, I was
I'm,
just making sure, because I didn't, yeah, we
Yeah.
put the grant in the budget, so, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's in there, it's in there.
yeah.
It should be
That's what it
good.
is.
Yeah, as long as she expensed it out, then we're good.
And I noticed I said it'd be billed on a monthly basis once funding is in place and released to the commission.
Yeah.
Will it refresh my memory, how much of the project are we having to pay for that replacement?
How much of the project?
How much is it costing us to replace that?
Well, we don't have a price on it yet. We'll have to
Okay.
bid it out.
But I mean, but you had a ballpark, kind of an idea when you applied for the grant,
Adam
right?
feels sure, and Matt feels sure that the price will come in under what we were given grant.
Okay.
And that's what we're hoping. In fact, we're hoping to use some of that other money for some other things. But I think around $700,000 that we will receive. But it has to be bid out. We can't do it ourselves.
Right, I knew that. I
Yeah.
was just curious if we were gonna have to put any money with that, because
We don't think so. We don't think that we'll have to put any into it.
it's still, even if we did have to, it's a
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
It's good.
And we'll know. I mean, the next step, once we sign this agreement, then we'll get to the point where they'll say, put it out for bid, and we'll put it out for bid and get some numbers on it. And I think that's coming should come pretty quickly.
I'll make a motion to allow the superintendent to sign the agreement with Kentucky Engineering Group on the gas line.
Commissioner Ferris made the motion. Need entertain a second by Mayor Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved unanimously. Down to new business. Has anybody got anything else? You got anything? Dwight?
It's not new business, but I did make a trip to they're working on that bypass lift station project, and they're moving along pretty good on that. I went and met the inspector today and talked to him and showed him some different areas of the line, and just that it's moving on, so.
Good. Anybody else got anything? I guess we'll move on then. The next chamber luncheon is Thursday, November the 14th at noon, and let Lori know no later than Monday, November the 11th if you plan to attend. Also, in your packet, you got copies of July and August 2024 financial statements for approval at the next meeting. Nobody else have anything? Nothing? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Mayor Miller. Second by Mr. Alley. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.